Koala Sampler just got a massive update, adding a mixer here, which has 4 bus channels, which you can put different pads into. So today we're gonna go over 3 of my favorite new features for better beat making with the new update in Koala. We'll also see if we can master a track using Koala's stock plugins. Timestamps are in the description below if you wanna skip around. All right, so first let's check out what you can do with bus effects on your drums to make them punchier and louder in the mix. So now we've got our drums, and I'm gonna put these in a bus now. We'll do bus A for drums, and I'm gonna add, in fact, we've already got some effects. I think this was an old project I had, so let's change these up. We'll leave drive on, we'll leave bit cooker, but I'm gonna take off reverb. So let's see what that sounds like now with this on. And this is it without any effects on. Now let's check out what these effects can do for your samples. Let's liven those up a bit. We'll do some drive. I don't have it on yet, I'm just gonna set this. I love bit cooker, so that's what we're gonna set. Do some really low sample rate, get it really gritty. Let's do 12. And we'll just drop this to 12 as well. Okay, let's set those now. If you go to mix, go to main, we're gonna set bus B. You can already hear the gain's going up because it's got that drive. So if I just shut the mix off with the bit cooker, that's a drive, but we're gritting it up a little bit. There we go. Let's get some filter on it. And I think a little delay. We'll sync it to lower the width, move the frequency over. Almost wanting to put sidechain on it. Let's try warble first. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we do need a bass, but I really like where this is sounding. One thing we could do, let's make a copy, and then we're gonna just keep the guitars. Everything else can go. So all these drums we can just delete. I'm gonna shut that vibro flange off, and I'm going to shut that delay off because we're gonna bounce this, resample it, resample loop, then I'm gonna drop it. Now it sounds really slow, but we're gonna time stretch it. And we're just gonna take out all the high end. Now we've got the bass. Let's see how this sounds. Definitely add some bass. Let's put that in D. And I'm gonna sidechain that one as well. So now the kick and the bass don't compete as much. So I want to see if we can master in Koala with some of these effects they've given. So the first thing I'm going to do, what I always like to do when I'm mastering, is add some EQ. So I'm going to put some EQ and we're just going to, it's not as nuanced as you'd like because you only get 3. You don't get 5 or 6 different EQs, but we can find some mud to chop out, and then we can boost the high end and the low end a little bit. So you can see there's some mud, yeah, right about there. And then we'll up that kick, and I'm gonna up the high end a little bit. Now, I've been messing around when you're going for kind of warp destroyed sounds like this. I find adding the either bit cooker or warble can really do a lot on the master. I'm gonna try the bit cooker, get it really gritty sounding. Let's do, instead of like the 12 we were doing, let's do 16, and let's drop the bit. So just for comparison, this was it all clean. Just adds a little bit of nastiness. Put the jitter up a little bit too. And then we've got the compressor. It's doing a lot right now, so we can tone that down a little bit. Ratio of about 2 should be good. High attack, high release. If we wanted to, we do that makeup gain. And anything else? I always like to put just a very, very trace amount of reverb. It's more psychoacoustic than it is anything, but I like to have that. And then we can just end it with a limiter. High attack, high release. I think we've got it. I actually really like how that master sounds. Let's mute all that. So we'll just put them all back on one by one, and then we'll see the difference that it can add. Let's hear. So this, we'll just go to that final part where it has everything, the bass, that little lead sound and all that. So here it is as it is. Let's put the EQ on. Okay, let's add the bit cooker. Way grittier. Off. Listen to the hi-hat specifically. Here we go. Compressor. Everything's pumping a little bit better. Can lower it a little bit more. There we go. Alright. Reverb. You really probably can't even hear it. This is it up. Sounds ridiculous, but at a very small amount. It's just enough to kind of make everything sound like it's in a room. And limiter. A little bit more gain. That's it. I love using Koala Sampler, and with the update, it's really come into its own, I think. I'm actually running it into the SP, but the SP is just acting as my audio interface, but together, I still think these two are the best. I have a video on my channel that shows my old workflow with Koala and the SP, and that's still pretty much how I would do it. I think I would just use a lot more of the mixing in Koala in-app before I'd move things to the SP and stuff, but I still love the performance aspect of the SP. You get some of that, but it's not quite as easy as it is on the SP. But hey, I appreciate you hanging out. If you've got any questions, let me know in the comments. And if you want to help support the channel, we've got memberships now, so if you want to join, there's behind the scenes stuff. I'll be putting samples up and things like that on there as well, and then you get access to the beats I make. But of course, just hang out is more than enough.